All right, welcome Hard Knocks, KK the Destroyer, coming to you live from the ESPN 8 studio, and we got a packed house tonight. Uh, let's see. Well, I'll go ahead and start with our mystery guest. We have Cheese Dev or C Dev or whatever you want to call him, Super Bowl champ, Cade. Welcome to the
We call him
show.
Eric around here, sir. We call him Eric.
Welcome, Eric. Thanks for joining. And then also, the voice you previously heard there was our very own Slick.
We are back.
And some interesting commentary I think should be on this show. We have the Dirty Birds coach. That'd be John John. Him and C-Dev seem to have a little animosity maybe built up over the season.
Well, I feel like I should have taken that line. It's like I'm back. I feel like I'm back. I'm here.
He's back. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. We're not losing anymore. At least that's not the script.
Well, we will see about that. So obviously, since we have Kate on today, what we'll do is we're gonna recap the season a little bit, maybe briefly. I know there was some DMs shared about loss to the Giants in the week 2. Is that what happened, Cade? Week 3, and you called them out and said you weren't worried about the regular season. You were gonna handle your business in the postseason. Is that about right? Very nice. So, I mean, what was your record by the end of the season this year? 12-4. I was going to say I felt like you had kind of a rough start to the season comparatively to last year. What do you think? What was the big difference for you? Do you think?
Elstein.
What week was the trade? What week did that trade happen?
And so both John and Slick there saying what changed was the trade for Schwartz. Is that what you guys are referencing?
Schwartz and Hill.
Oh, okay.
I mean, obviously Tyreek Hill.
Hold up, guys. So, Cade, you have to set your voice to be shared. That's on me. I should have reminded you because they're saying they can't hear you.
They can't hear you. On the new.
That's a great question. I think you have to go to party settings.
And he's got a new
Okay.
nickname
All right, it's
now,
allowed
too,
now.
Devin.
All right, I'm on here now.
Okay, perfect.
Devin in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Devin. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Devin, Eric, Cade, Chief.
Chunky gave you a new name. Okay, so obviously nobody heard anything that you had to say. So welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So go ahead and pick it up then, I guess, from where I asked you the question about what happened against the Giants week 3 and kind of your explanation from there and get everybody caught up.
So week 3 against the Giants, what happened is I turned the ball over 6 times and he turned the ball over 0 times. And that was the deciding factor of the game. Still only lost by 10, but -6 and the turnover differential is tough to overcome.
Man, that's so rough. I do that a lot, and it just burns me when I look at that turnover. And I'm like, if I just throw half as many turnovers, then I can win that game, especially a 10-point game. Like, man, that's so frustrating. And then I got to feel like the guy that beat you has to be like, how are you not smoking me right now if I throw 6 picks?
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, you did handle your business in the postseason, so why don't you give us the rundown of how your postseason went? Like, who was your first opponent?
So first up, I had Dar. He got up on me early, had me a little nervous in the beginning, but I was able to pull away in the second half a little bit. Then I went on, played Greg, and I don't think Greg was trying very hard.
Man, yeah, that was
I think he was kind of checked out towards the end of the season, but
No, I don't think he was checked out. I think he got really heated when he said there was 2 interceptions in the first quarter that he felt like he got hosed by EA.
Oh,
So
he
what's your
definitely did.
he did okay? So that's your perspective as well, as he did get hosed a little bit there.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I mean, he's
He was
working
throwing
with
some
that
terrible
rookie.
picks.
He's working
Yeah.
with that rookie quarterback, so that probably doesn't help him. Plus, your D line is pretty stacked.
So, and then we went on with trades.
That's an understatement.
You mean they're handing out
Yeah.
steroids at the door? Is that what you mean, KK? Like, he's stacked.
Just,
These dudes live in the weight room, I guess.
Lord. So yeah, I was actually surprised that Greg didn't hit the concede button right away, like he is known to do. And so go on. Uh, who was after Greg?
So then we played Giants. Luckily, he's scared of the snow, and he had a home game and it snowed. So that was he kind of went in the game knowing he was going to lose because apparently he can't play in the snow because even though it's Madden. He threw for 77 yards, and that was kind of it right there.
Jesus.
Started out the game, first 15 of his first 16 plays were run plays.
Woof.
Yeah,
he
a little
he
rough.
he loves to run. That's his. Although he said he's changing that up. He did some good trades, but what we'll talk about later. But
He wants to trade Saquon, is what I've heard.
Yeah, I saw he was on the block, but we'll see. I might not take the
hey,
time to review it. Like none of us. We might just check out that day.
I mean, I'm sending a third because elite players. That's the going rate for elite players.
That's why
We're sending third round picks.
That's
that's
right.
why I told Jay Stopper when he put Deontay Johnson on the block. I told him I'd give him a third since that's the going rate for receivers now.
Right.
But
Then the Super Bowl against Manny. I didn't really know how I was gonna win that one, but I just tried to kind of control the clock, keep it on the ground. I only threw for under 150 yards, so I was able to get a couple interceptions that kind of put the game away for me in the second half.
Yeah, I saw that little string of interceptions. It was like back-to-back picks. One I thought was a little questionable was like he threw a low pass to, I think either his tight end or his slot guy, and your guy just came in and murked it and took it to the house. And I was like, oh my God, that's a crazy good animation to get right there. And then I think you had a really good user pick either before that one or after. I can't remember.
The user was after they were on back-to-back plays, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and you don't usually see Manny make those kinds of mistakes. I don't know what he saw there, but I don't tend to question Manny's judgment, so he must have saw something. I don't know. What do you guys think?
that front seven, bro. I'm telling you, those guys are not. Those guys are something else. And then he has acrobat and mid zone in the linebacker area, so it's tough, bro.
Yeah, I mean, pressure makes you do wild things, and especially once you're starting to play from behind and things like that. I mean, start to get off your game a little bit. Definitely happens, even to the best of us. It turns
Yeah,
out Manny's not invincible.
yeah. I mean that's pretty clear because I mean I usually think of Manny rarely making poor reads, but I guess you're right. If there's pressure in your face and you anticipate pressure at times, that you make poor choices. So it was interesting to see that, but I didn't finish the game because I had to get into bed. But clearly that's a win that you got to be proud of. I mean, what was the final of that game?
42-28.
42-28. So a dominating win. So all right, well I guess that kind of recaps your season. So the kind of next up that we thought we would talk about would be the trades that have happened, and you clearly made a trade out the gate, Cade. So I'm looking at that one. I mean, I got to pull up these trade approvals. Like one thing I find really interesting about you is you are not afraid to trade really anybody at any time. That's been my take for you.
Yeah, what I was looking at with the CMC trade is he makes so much money, and kind of once I got Jordan Love up to X Factor, I have hot route master now, so I don't really need the backfield master that CMC had to give me those hot routes from the running back position, and so I just wanted to get that cap hit off my books for the upcoming years because it's going to be hard to keep this team together.
And so your main concern is it keeping that D line together, that front seven?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That is the priority.
I could definitely see that. It seems so crazy to look at Christian McCaffrey, 26 years old, X Factor. I realize he's expensive. And then to trade him for an offensive lineman who's slightly older, but you do get that first round pick. You looking to possibly fill that up with a running back, or you got other plans?
We'll see what happens when the combine comes out. I got a couple positions that I'm looking at going.
Okay. But yeah, I saw that trade and I'm like, I'm kind of surprised that he went for that cheap. But
I had him on the block. No one else hit me up with any
Yeah.
legit offers.
And this is, kind of what I've always tried to say is like, we try not to, as a commissioner team, stop people from doing what they want with their team unless it's pretty ridiculous.
Unless you're AO.
Unless you're AO, yeah, then or the Giants. We always try to stop him anytime we can. But that trade is, in my view, it's close enough. I think I would have tried to get more, but it's interesting to me that you said you didn't really get that many offers either. And I'm finding, at least lately, a lot of guys aren't getting offers. Obviously we had Buns with his Fletcher Cox deal that I declined, and I think John declined as well, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. And then the other
I'm
scrub.
interested to see what Slick would have done if he would have gotten to that point.
I don't know. It's tough. But it's an X factor. 30 old, 30-something years old. You could get him for 2-3 more years.
I think he's got at least
like
2
Tyrone-
years.
I
Yeah.
feel like what's been happening,
Uh-huh.
like you said, KK, is people aren't getting offers, and it's funny because people aren't getting offers, but then they post trades to go through, and then people are like, "Oh shit! Like,
Yes,
what?
that's-
They traded
that's
him for that?
exactly.
Like, I would have definitely paid more than that." And it's like, well, where the hell were you in my DMs at? Like,
Exactly.
we.
That is totally what
I
it
think-
is.
Yeah, and that's a fair problem because it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to go through and message the whole league and be like, hey, I put a guy on the block. Like, do you know I'm
Right.
serious? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and the market's the market. Like I was even considering letting Buns know, like, hey, if you don't get a better offer than what Penn had offered, then I'll just approve the trade, because the reality is the market is what you're being offered. So
correct.
I don't see a problem
agree with
with
that
it.
as well.
It just, like, we try not to let, like, really ridiculous trades. And, like, granted, we've let a lot of, like, wild trades happen. But when I saw, Penn's second rounder, which is basically the start of the third, and then a third and a fourth for Fletcher Cox at 31, who I think is still going to be good for at least 2 years. He's not a one-year rental.
Absolutely.
Um,
And I said he's got a high cap hit. He's got to get re-signed. But
Mhm.
Penn has the cap room with the Jags. So I heard Buns try to be like, oh, it's just a 1-year rental. Like, no, that's not a 1-year rental. He's re-signing him. He's got
Oh,
the
yeah.
money. He's got no problem with that. Like,
I almost sent Buns an offer, but I felt like it would just be a bad look to be like, oh, hey, by the way, I'll offer you my second and third and
well,
fourth.
it's funny because he actually told me after the fact, after I had declined the trade, he's like, hey, to be honest with you, I'm cool if it gets declined because actually at this point I've got a better offer. And I'm like, that literally just goes to show you, like we were just talking about, is
Right.
like, I guess people don't take it serious when people are putting people on the block. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because a lot of people do just, throw a guy up, oh, I think I'm trading so-and-so, and then never do
Yeah.
anything with it.
Maybe
So
we need to have like a rating level or something like that.
like a
1
seriousness.
to 10, like, yeah, basically anybody that, there's certain people who, like you're saying, like they don't really trade, they just throw people on the block, or you know what
Right.
I'm saying? There's
Like
some
Joe.
people like that.
Or Devin.
I don't want to name any names. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to name names and point fingers. I'm just saying there's a situation that occurs. And then there's also situations when it's like, hey, dude, I got this guy on the block and this is a fire sale. Like, who wants this guy? I don't think you understand. If you might want him at all, you should DM me.
Right. And I actually do feel like since we've been more forceful on enforcing the 53-man roster and ensuring people are under the cap, that like that's changed people's perspectives on moving players. You know, like Cade here is talking about not wanting to pay CMC this year and the following year. I mean, if he knows he's got to fill a roster, then, you know, is the running back that really critical to you? Even though I would say he has been a beast every year he's played with them, so I
Well,
don't
I think
see.
that absolutely affects the guy's value as well, because that's something that's like, you
Eh,
know, that Fletcher Cox, for instance, because he's got a huge cap hit, and it's like, well, he is really, really good, but he's also really expensive. So, not even every team can go and get him if they want to. You know,
exactly. So let's see. Dar wants to join us, so I'm going to see about getting him on here. And then Mikey went ahead and showed some receipts on Devin posting Kelsey might be on the trade block. Like that's that garbage that we're talking about right there.
he did talk to me about Kelsey, and he was kind of serious. He is like serious about moving, and at this point, I think Devin's serious about moving anybody because he needs to get out from his cap. He's having the same situation. He's trying to look ahead, just like Cheese is here.
It's like Jesus. And so you sent him an offer for a fifth for Kelsey, right? Since you know like that's how he likes
I
to
think
make
I
these
might have said a
trades.
fourth. Something
Oh,
like
okay.
that, but yeah.
Figure you like give him a little something.
I mean, I feel bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when I was negotiating with Buns for the trade that I had earlier, I was like, I want to send you a fifth, but I know realistically it's not really that fair, so I'm going to say I'll start with the fourth. And then we kind of went from there.
So since
I
we
have a
brought up
I have a
Devin,
conscience.
like this Chiefs trade, slick. DJ Moore, 25 years old, superstar X Factor, 99 overall for the offensive lineman, a third, and Lorenzo Carter. So I saw this trade and I'm like, that's garbage. And I got to get Cade's theory on this as well, but I'll start with Slick. Like, what was the original trade for Tyreek Hill for DJ Moore? Do you remember that?
DJ Moore, the original trade.
I guess let me ask Cade. Do you remember that? What the original trade
Yeah,
was?
it was. So he sent me Tyreek, and I sent him DJ Moore and a few cheap contracts to help him like hit 53.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought process behind it was basically get Tyreek Hill, but not have to pay him as much as he's gonna have to pay Tyreek Hill. So I don't know what exactly he was doing with this trade, but
Well, so basically, he traded in because he needed to fill his roster, which is exactly what we need out of everybody following that rule. So that makes sense. And then, so to my question to Slick was like, so he trades him for a good receiver in return that's cheaper, nope, and then a couple roster fillers, and then turns around and trades him away for a right tackle, a third, and Lorenzo Carter. So what do you think about that?
I DM'd Mikey and I said I don't think he has any clue of what he's doing in Kansas City. Like you trade Tyreek, fine. You have to trade Tyreek. Okay, fine.
Right.
But the guy you're trading him for, you get rid of him a year later.
Yes.
Like I know you got cap situation, but it's just like, oh my gosh, bro.
That makes
Really,
no sense.
really values offensive line, and I think that it's his play style and it totally not being a fit for the Chiefs. Like,
Yeah.
he had one of the top picks, I think, in the drafts, and he picked the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are an amazing team, but he's the absolute wrong person to have them. He should have took the Titans or somebody like them where he could have ran the ball down
He
your
honestly
throat.
could have picked the Ravens. I would have been fine with the Ravens. But if I have to see
Ravens-
Mahomes under center 90% of the game, I I'm
And the
not
thing
watching
is, the
any game
weapons
that he
where
is
they
in.
were, and just the way the team is built, the cap wasn't set up the way that he needs it to be for him to be successful. So now he's been selling out the team to get line because he needs O line so he can run the ball. That's his mentality, right?
Well, he
He and
So
then
traded
he
the
that's
and
what
he's
he's
best O
doing.
expressed
lineman.
that he can't throw with Mahomes because of the pre-snap animations and stuff like he can't throw. So what he's gonna do is gonna go back to the PS4 Elstein and run the ball
Hmm.
and see if that works better. Who needs receivers when you can average 5, 6 yards a game a play with
Uh huh.
what was that rookie Carlos Laird?
Yeah,
Clyde
Clyde
Edwards.
Hilaire. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go, there we go. But he's gonna try something different.
We struck a nerve on Devin right there. Um, and one thing I was going to say is I think this trade really reflects what he recognized he lost by trading Schwartz to the Panthers. Because
Mhm.
clearly he's trying to get that lineman back, something. And like you
Well, I
guys
will
said,
say, well, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I will
no,
say I
go for
was
it.
looking at that exact thing, and he does lose Schwartz. He loses some overall, but the contract that he gets with the lineman that he picked up in the trade is
Hmm.
actually really, really good. The dude's only playing for like 5 or 6 mil of his cap moving forward for the next 2 seasons. So he's also really motivated by his cap situation as well, which makes sense. But from an outsider's perspective, it doesn't necessarily all look
Yeah,
like,
it
you
just
know.
looks gross when you say I traded Tyreek Hill for a wide receiver that's younger and similar for 1 year to trade him away. That's what makes it look gross. But hey, we got to do things to make space on our rosters. Like this is what we want: is we want guys being forced to make difficult personnel decisions, and that is clearly difficult. I don't know what else
And
to
you know
say.
what? As
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, Elstein can do it because he's going to stick around. He's not the 49ers. He's going to be here. So if he wants
Yeah.
to take his team and, turn it upside down and then start, turn it into upside down cake as a result, that's fine. He can do it.
I'm looking at
Does
his team and I just don't even recognize it.
Does anybody
Like,
have Dar on their friends list?
I do.
yeah.
I do.
Okay, will you send him a party invite? He wants to get in on this action.
See
So
how to get him in here.
let's see here. So that is kind of that trade. I think, like I said, I felt like it was a terrible trade, but I do get it. I'm not doing these in any particular order. Just kind of looking at them. We got the Dirty Birds with Lindstrom with a fourth and a fifth to the Eagles for another O lineman, older. Obviously, this is what was my thought process here? Was yeah, what is your thought process here, John? Just picking up a
Your
better O
correction, I
lineman
do not
for.
know how to. Oh, wait, here we go. I got it.
Okay, so you just picking up a better O lineman temporarily at the cost of a fourth and a fifth and a young offensive lineman who you don't think is really going to develop.
Mhm.
I think he missed that whole thing. He left. It
Yeah,
said he
no, I'm
left the
sorry. I
chat.
did. I was trying to invite Dark. I jumped out for a second. What did you say?
Oh, I just said your trade, Lindstrom, a fourth and a
Oh,
fifth for Brooks. Obviously, you're getting a better offensive lineman at the cost of a couple late round picks and a young player that you possibly don't think is going to develop that well. Is that
no,
I'm
the lineman that I traded away is a stud. I mean, that dude is good. He was one of my best like bargaining pieces from an offensive standpoint that I was actually willing to let go. To be like honest with you, in my opinion, but I needed to upgrade my line, and I was talking to Buns similarly because he did make the trade for Fletcher Cox. I'm like, "Doe, what's going on?" And I just realized he had the cap situation, so I'm looking at his team because he told me he's like, "I'm trying to go younger, this and that, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Well, then let me get one of these linemen, bro." I tried to cheese dev my way into a good trade, so that's what I did. It might not have been a Wagner status, but I
right?
feel like I'm I did something that's definitely going to help my team improve, especially considering the division that I play in. I have to have bookends. I have to in my division So between that and you got status from last season.
But only for a year, though, right? Like 33. I mean, he'll probably play another year. Won't lose too
Ideally, I have
much.
both these dudes for 2 years. They
Yeah.
both will have 2 years contracts. The dude I traded for definitely has a 2 year contract. The other one I signed, he wants 2 years, so we'll take him for 2 years, whatever the deal may be. Who knows behind the scenes over here? We'll see if it works. But yeah, I mean, we're trying to take care of something. You know, we got to deal with Cheese Dez's front seven.
Let's see. And any other trades coming off the top of people's head? Obviously, we have the Giants. What were we going to say, Slick?
He also got Alexander, the cornerback from the Packers.
Yep, that was the one I was looking
That
at.
was a huge one.
Yeah. So he sent a first, 2 seconds this year, and next year's first with Julian Love to get to the Packers for Jair Alexander, which, honestly, like that's probably really, in my view, on market value. I mean, he's getting a first this year, even though his is going to be late. It's going to be super late, right? Like 28, 29?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he gets 2 seconds as well, which I'm assuming one is his and then somebody else's. And then he does get another first. I mean, I don't know. That's tough, man, because Jair is how old?
He's pretty
Yeah, I
young.
mean, he's relatively young.
Bro. That's
Yeah.
Jair's
He's
a stud.
25.
Yeah.
He's one of the best cornerbacks in the league.
No,
And-
see, the thing in Green Bay, I've
Mhm.
noticed Packers love sending out young guys to top players. I just don't understand it.
It's got to be the
don't.
bloodline that he comes from. That isn't it?
He low. It has to be. I don't
It's because
understand.
he's related to either Mikey or Devin. I don't know. Like these guys, I don't know what to make of it. I mean, and he tagged him. He tagged him, took a penalty, and traded him. Like, I don't know.
First, it was Jordan Love. That was before I came in here. But he sends Jordan Love out. He's like, you know what? Aaron Rodgers is going to carry me the way and see if we don't need young quarterbacks. Let's trade them to the Panthers, who have a T contract. He's an X factor now. Young
Right.
talent. Then he trades Jair Alexander to another top user in the NFC. So he better hit on those draft picks.
No doubt. I mean, yeah, it's wild. But once again, I
Packers
mean,
have cap situations too.
that's what I was going to say is that was the one thing that we as a team kind of discussed was like he was in a bad spot cap-wise, so he did have to move him. And once again, I mean, was this the market? Like, did he, I mean, how did this trade go down? Did the Giants reach out and be like, hey, bro, I'll give you this? Or did he actually put him on the block?
I can guarantee you that man hit him up DM right away.
I thought he had Jair on the block. I think he did post him.
I was just going to say, like,
but
John, how are you not in the Packers DMs? Like, you're the guy that's always looking at people's cap situation, being like, oh, he's vulnerable. I'm going to snipe on this guy.
I was out, bro. I checked out for that season.
Oh, that's
man.
true, you did.
I needed a recharge. I needed the batteries. I had to plug them in.
Madden
over
took
here.
his soul last season, bro. He
It did,
just
man.
he-
I
PS5
took
Madden
his
just
soul
ate
last
me
season.
alive. Oh,
I
you
did.
You stole
It was
my
me.
mojo, bro. I don't know
It
what
was
happened.
me.
But after that game, I don't know if I ever came out of my slump. So,
Right.
Fingers crossed that we can make some moves this offseason and feel a lot better about ourselves.
Lord. And
Also, I think not switching back and forth between, because I was doing the PS4, PS5 Madden, I think not switching back and forth now moving forward is going to be very beneficial.
I don't think I would disagree with that. I know I was playing both. I actually enjoyed playing both. I almost felt like it made me a little bit better somehow. But it's kind of nice to be fully transitioned out of it and into just this version because it is so different. Nobody else got anything to offer there? Like,
I think
Am I-
100% playing one version is
Oh no, you have
helps
to.
it.
You have to.
I think it helps a ton.
feel it for a moment there. I felt like I was on a podcast with Greg and Mikey at the same time. Like what happened? Like nobody's talking. I try not. I feel like I talk all the time. So like I try to, create these pockets of empty space where you guys can fill in.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, if you're constantly going back and forth, there's no way you're gonna get used to this game. I've been playing it this gen more. I still hate it, but it's just a work in progress.
Right.
Oh, look who showed up to the party. It's Dar.
Oh,
Oh my God,
No,
Dar!
he was
This is what your
talking.
voice
He was
sounds like.
talking the whole time, but he had his mic on.
you guys never heard him talk. Yeah.
This is not the voice that I thought Dar would have. I thought he'd be this like gravelly, throaty dude that commanded.
Raspy grandma kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Rachel, where is
Oh
she?
my gosh.
Dar, you need to set your voice to be shared. Don't you learn anything from watching the podcast? Somebody's gonna have to explain to this man how it works.
Well, Cheese just did it. He can take it.
I was gonna say, Cheese, you gotta handle that.
Go to like the voice party, and then go to the 3 lines settings, and then share your voice and change it to allow.
There you go.
Oh, here is one thing that I did want to talk about briefly was while we're waiting for this random advance, like I feel like Mikey is 4 bourbons in and totally forgot. Like that's what I feel like.
When you gave him the responsibility, I was like, you're really gonna give the league drunk this responsibility? We
I
never
know.
know what's gonna happen.
I mean, clearly everybody's watching my stream at this point, so they know I have not peaked. So maybe I'll just advance and do it because I'm clearly not
Do
sniping.
it.
What I was going to say was it was brought up that this upcoming season, what we're going to do is bring back Hard Knocks Fantasy for PS5, which those in the league that have been in the PS4 version know what it is, but all these new guys don't know what the fantasy version is for PS5.
Has Jordan
So
agreed to that?
well, I was operating under the assumption that it was going to be on us to deal with it because I messaged him before and was like, "Hey, dude, are you coming back?" And he's like, "Nah, bro, I'm done. I got more important things to do." And then
I got
suddenly,
lawyer stuff I got to do.
Yeah,
now. And
exactly.
Ohio State. Rah.
exactly.
Everyone goes on that. I picked my stuff out of it.
All right, perfect.
All right.
Dar, welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Pleasure to be here.
Right on.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, what do you want to talk about, Dar? Since we have you on the line.
Now that I can be 100% biased and I have an outlet, let's talk about how Dar went from losing, 1-6 to ending the season 9-7, sneaking into the post. Let's disregard the forced wins. Let's just ignore those.
Just ignore
Ignore
Hey,
those. And let's,
well, we can talk about force wins like when we talk about Mikey. Mikey had like 7 force wins. So force wins get you to the playoffs no matter what. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
There it is.
Let's see who I got.
Oh.
That just
Oh, God.
happened. So I will go transactions.
oh, someone got me.
All right.
Wow.
Sons of guns.
All right. So John was stressed first. So John, what do you see?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so
Wow.
Cade,
Is that bad?
Cade, what do you see?
I see Allen Robinson signing 7 years at 500K.
Oh, no.
I
I'm
think I might
upset
cut him for-
because Tyron Armstead, that big tackle I was trying to go after and was paying all this money, he signed with the Saints instead. So
Oh,
he
right.
apparently
Well,
You had the higher,
player.
offer too.
Way high.
Dang.
Bro, I had cashed out on that boy. So it's,
Yeah, I need a
unless he
Orlando.
just went in at the end and sniped above me, but I don't think he did. So
No, I was on there. You were leading the pack.
wow.
Wow. So, I guess if you guys know kind of the big signings, I'm just at the transaction log. So, is there a better way to view this?
The league
signings.
Oh,
Go to the
okay.
free
Well,
agent
you know what?
offers area.
John, why don't you handle it? You're the contract guy. Let's go.
Oh, I'm not watching the stream. I don't have that stream pulled up.
Devontae Adams has
Yeah.
11
Devontae
millions
Adams
over 1 year.
signed. Yep. Big contract, 1 year. He'd
23.
have cashed him
See.
out for one season. He pulled a Jern special.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, he did. So league signings. Where am I at then? Tell me where to go.
Is that you,
In the
KK,
free
talking?
agency.
Yeah, yeah.
You, I
This is
think.
how he sounds like.
Okay, I like it. You got Orlando Brown for 111 million over 5 years.
Oh yeah, there we go. Well, I see what I got. I was just talking about like where you guys are going to see where everybody went.
Oh, I was just kind of saying the big ticket ones, like you're up there.
Oh yeah,
One second, I'm watching
JJ
it.
Watt too. I had a bunch of cash, so I went hard for
go up
JJ.
to-
Mhm.
Sorry, go up to the signing screen, like the offer screen, where you could
Oh, gotcha.
send out an offer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
League
you wanna
signings.
hit R1. Yep.
Gotcha.
Well, not. Yep. There you go.
I see it now. Okay.
I can walk
Chiefs got Brian O'Neill off me. Son of a gun.
Wow,
Arnie
so-
Williams, 2 Giants.
Devontae Adams, 11 million for 1 year. That's the Jern special that we're talking about. And Teron Armstead, I was thinking about going after him, but I wound up pulling my bid in order to go to my left tackle that I picked up. So,
Oh, I hate you. That was between me and you.
oh yeah, I went all in for him and JJ is what I did. Allen Robinson, obviously the 7-year deal. So we got Cheese Dev doing what he does. Harrison
John
Smith.
John 500K special.
For 7 years. Is that what that is? That is messed up.
Oh wow.
Harrison
I think
Smith.
I'm gonna cut him, but
That's a good signing there. Like, I can't see his player card though. Did he regress much?
not much. He's still 87 speed, which is what he starts at. 91 overall.
Low key Marlon Mack though to John. I think that's a great signing. That dude is legit at 26 years old with really good attributes for a running back.
Yeah, I mean it's not exactly a consolation prize for what I wanted to get, but I guess.
Who are you gunning
Not
for?
what he's looking for.
Yeah, I'm still kind of upset.
Who are you trying to get?
Tyron Armstead, the 97
Oh yeah,
overall.
everyone was trying to get him.
And so what was your
really
offer? Do you
sucks.
remember?
Yeah, it was like I was paying this dude like 25 mil a year is what I was about to pay him.
Really?
Yeah, like I was so locked in, I was so confident. That's ridiculous. I don't get it.
That's tough.
That
I
is.
thought I
man,
offered a
this
ridiculous
game,
amount to
this game.
Holton too.
And then we got Penn with Justin Reed getting signed. Cortland Sutton going to the Pats. 24 mil over 4 years. Seems like a really like inexpensive deal for a guy that's that young. That's pretty good. I mean, he's not elite speed or anything, but he had good attributes, didn't he?
I'm surprised that's not a green bar, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
It's a decent contract.
I looked at Akeem Hicks. I was interested, but like I said, I went all in on JJ. And then, oh man, the Eagles like remaking their defensive line. They went Akeem Hicks and Maurice Hurst, who I used last year. Put my captain on and got that inside stuff. Let's see what else we got. Levante David, Jordan Poyer. So is there? Oh, there's one of my old linemen that I let go, Colton Miller. Dar, you went and picked him up, huh?
Yes, sir.
He's
need
just
help.
yeah, he's solid. I mean, I liked having him, and he didn't want to re-sign with me, and I just didn't want to invest that much money in him.
Yeah.
But I think
me and Chiefs had a good little bidding war for him for a little bit there,
did ya?
but he got the better one though.
What was the better one?
Let me see real quick. It was
Broncos wins the booby prize of Marquez Valdez Scantling because he's not superstar dev, but he's still pretty quick, right?
He still needed a receiver because he lost
Yeah.
Sutton.
a DK Metcalf can go Elstein.
Oh.
Putting it out there on the podcast live.
We'll send you a third.
That's
We're
the
gonna
going
go top
rate.
of third. You hear that?
So,
Who are you trading?
He got Brian O'Neill, right tackle. That's who I wanted between me and him.
yeah, there were some decent O linemen out there.
Yeah, I had to.
Another good signing I haven't seen anyone touch on is Olivier Vernon to Manny for 1 year,
Oh.
15 million.
Of course, Manny would get that guy.
Yeah, nice superstar.
Yeah, the superstar. So
Help him out a little bit.
So,
You
looks
gotta do
like
something now to compete with Penn.
we got Chandler Jones still hasn't signed. Tyler Lockett. Sherman, I was actually surprised. He didn't sign.
He said, "Oh, cheese ends up the victim once again." That's what happened.
And Dar, you and I were battling on Mike Williams there for a brief moment, but like I said, when I went all in on a couple guys, I had to pull that offer. But he's not happy with you, dude. He doesn't want to sign with the Seahawks. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, it's just we go out here, we try our best, and we come up short. You know, how do we expect superstars to want to come play for us? You know, like we just gotta get it together. We gotta keep Russ cooking. Just gotta keep Metcalf glitchy, and yeah, just go out there and win.
All
You know
right.
what does suck though is not having my picks. I love having Jamal Adams, but it's kind of like what last year I was a top 3 pick, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So who I think you're welcome. Whoever got that pick. Who
Well,
does
like I
have those
said,
picks?
Dar,
Actually?
it's the
Jets.
Twilight Zone
Jets.
for you now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Remember? I took that pick for you.
Ah.
Yeah, it is
You're
rough
up.
not having picks. Like, I did the same thing. I don't have a first this year because I traded for Gilmore, thinking I could probably re-sign him, but I was in a bad spot because I had so much cap tied up in Derek Carr that, oh, there it is. First rip. Dar's first rip
Third.
on the podcast.
It was
No, I
third.
meant,
Oh my
I meant,
God, bro.
wow, I thought he was a veteran. Like, I didn't think there was going to be any of that.
Oh no, he does a lot of that.
Oh yeah. I'm actually keeping it PG for y'all.
Keeping it PG. But yeah, so I was in a bad spot cap-wise, so I went ahead and made him an offer, and he, of course, rejected me, so then I had to tag him for $18 million, but I'd given Pats my first-round pick. I guess I could have pulled an Ilstein and, like, just let him go, because, I only borrowed him for a year. But I wasn't about to have that happen, so I had to go ahead and franchise tag him, and then I made a bunch of cuts and had enough money to do it. So not having a first definitely sucks, but it is what it is. So back to the original topic we were on before we had the breaking news of free agency. We were talking about Hard Knocks Fantasy, and so for those of you that don't know, effectively what it will be is every week everybody creates a lineup of one quarterback, one running back, one receiver, a flex, which is running back or a wide receiver, and a kicker. Is that about right? Does that sound familiar? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think that's correct.
It's gonna be weird not seeing Burrows and Ross in everybody's lineup every week.
Yeah. And so,
No, you're gonna
but
see Lamar now instead.
oh my gosh, yeah. The caveat is you cannot choose your own players. You have to choose other people's players. Obviously, that's to avoid anybody stat padding to try to win fantasy, plus, just generally stat padding anyway. So, that's something that we'll do each week, and we have a spreadsheet that tracks it. Hopefully, Jern will go ahead and take that over again because he was the master of the spreadsheet. But
And you
we'll
can't
see.
have the same players
Oh.
consecutive weeks.
Good point. Yeah, that was a rule that we had to make because of what was just referenced, which was like everybody's always choosing one player at one particular position every single week. So that kind of creates a little bit of strategy in how you make your lineups, because you might look at somebody who has a really easy matchup with a lesser known fantasy player that you would then choose instead of, somebody who's a consistent performer like, reaching out of the ballpark here like Jonathan Taylor. He's going to get nine receptions and rushing yards every week, so he's your starting running back because Mikey only
Derrick
throws
Henrys.
flats. Your Derrick Henrys. You're gonna
Miles
get
Sanders and Jonathan Taylor are on the same boat. They're going to be the frequent picks.
It is
So,
not a PPR league.
it is not PPR, no. But they're definitely flex rated players for sure. So anyway, you can't choose the same player at the same position every week. You have to alternate weeks in order to kind of balance it out. So it's just another fun game that we'll do. We'll have, I forget what the rewards were. They're very similar to what our Pick'ems rewards were, but I think they might be slightly different. So we're going to go ahead and bring that back for this will be season 3?
Yep.
Right on.
Yep, it was +2 for the first and +1 for second.
Is that what it was? And in Pick'ems, we only reward the overall player, right?
Yeah, Pick'ems, we generally only give it to the number 1. I think Mikey started giving it to number 2.
Yeah, Mikey's
Maybe because
crazy.
He went doing fantasy.
At one point, I swear to God, he had all 13 games out there. And just like, everybody just pick everything.
He said it was a double. It was I forgot what multiple winners.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So-
I just remember that, like, early on when we were doing Pick'ems, I was like, let's just make it 5. And then Mikey's like, no, bro, let's make it 6. How about 6? And then
He wrote like a 5-paragraph essay of pick'ems. I was just lost.
I know, I think I screwed up a couple times because of it. I'm like, I don't even know anymore. But Mikey, shout out to Mikey. He's been running Pick'ems for the last 2 years, doing a great job. And, hey, if he wants to make more work for himself, then by all means, do so.
Round of applause, Mikey.
Round of applause. There we go.
Give him the golf clap.
That's
You
right.
keep this shit rolling.
So that's Hard Knocks Fantasy. And then one of the other things that we did want to briefly introduce was we got 2 new owners, technically 3, but really just 1. So
4,
we've
actually. I added an extra one.
Is it 4? Okay, well, we got Triggers, who's the new 49ers owner. Yeah. So do you want to put your 4th one in now, or you want me to go,
Oh,
first?
Jets is back. The Jets owner, he's back on the day shift. So he said
yes.
he's going to be more active this coming season.
So he's gonna play like 5 games instead of 2.
I mean, I hope so.
I hope he plays because I played him in one of the first games of the season, and he's actually pretty good. He had totally changed around that Jets team. It didn't look at all like it does the first year, which I was really interested to see. And I was very surprised he ended up not winning games at all throughout the year. But that's because obviously he was checked out. He was Jabbar'd.
He jabbarred it. That's awesome. So yeah, we got the Jets owner back. Hopefully he'll make his games. And then we have Jern, who's come back only because he apparently just gets to take the Ravens on some dumbass luck that Sly decided to bail out because he was too busy. Even though, like I said, I went to Jern weeks ago and was like, hey, are you coming back to PS5? He's like, no, dude, I'm so done. I got more important things to do.
I tell you what.
Right?
You know, PS4 league died. He needed his Madden fix. Things maybe calm down at work. Plus, Lamar's always an incentive.
That's true. Like, that's a penalty thing to do, is be like, let me know when the Ravens open up.
I think that's exactly what the DM said, actually.
So
until then, I'm retired. Let me know
when a good team opens
I'll
up, because
at you then.
yeah,
No, not a good team. The Ravens.
the Ravens. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think now what we got to do is go ahead and give Jern all the hell that we gave Greg for always picking a top team. Like, he came in, chose the Bucks, which is a stacked roster year one for sure, makes the Super Bowl, loses, and just like, no, I'm done. And then leaves, comes back only to take over the Ravens. And it's like, so is he really as good as he says he is? Or is it just because he's got good
Well,
teams?
I mean, you know, he played with the Bengals in the PS4 league.
Shh,
and
shh,
he's
John, be quiet, John.
Shh.
Come on. He's a pretender. Let's just say it.
I mean, he
He,
didn't make the playoffs in the last season. I know that. So,
I mean, that's not saying much though. Dario made the playoffs, so
whoa,
no, I'm saying
hey,
the last season of the PS4.
hold on.
throw up the
Raiders,
clockwork twice a day. Yeah.
the Raiders made the playoffs 2 years in a row, so that's not saying anything either. So it is pretty. I'm in Dario's boat. Like, I feel your pain, bro.
It sucks.
At least we made it. At least we made it, right?
Ow! We made it to lose it, but we made it.
That's
For me, it
right.
was just like making my first round pick a top pick again. That was literally my
Make it to the
motivation.
dance to win one.
I was like, I want to get it off the top 10, and I got 11. So I'm like, yeah.
There we go. And then, so obviously, Jern's the Ravens, and then the fourth owner that we got coming in that's brand new is it's weird. It's Jabbar. Is that like a real name? Jabbar Greeley, the Bears owner. He's a new guy.
Really,
Really?
Who was that?
Ow!
I don't know who that guy
he's done
is.
being a hero. He's ready for Madden.
Oh, is that what it is?
Jabbar gets the Hard Knocks Walter Payton Man of the Year award. If I'm gonna, that's
Yeah.
my contribution to this podcast.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
I
He
would
contributes to
agree
the
with that.
real life disaster in Texas. So that's pretty cool, dude. It's good
I'll
to
give
know
him-
people like that.
I'll give him credit. Who just popped the bottle? I heard that too.
I popped the bottle for my weed, but I did hear that as well.
I mean, it sounded like Mikey opening a bottle of bourbon or something.
Yeah, I want to drink now.
All right. So Jabbar's back. At least he says he's back. We'll see. But yeah, I would say if we all voted, he could get Man of the Year for doing the Lord's work down there in Texas, taking care of people. So hopefully hopefully he makes his games at least against Mikey. That's all I know.
As
Bro,
long as he plays
he
Mikey
railed me.
and beats him, that's all we need.
He railed me when we played. I think like Jabbar only played one game this year, and it was against me.
See, that's exactly what Mikey says.
Classic Jabbar.
Railed.
Yes, it is. It's like, oh, I'll play you, and I'll give you 100%, and then I'll just duck out every other game. So let's see. I mean, I think we're basically coming to the end of the podcast here. I haven't looked at any combine stats. Has anybody taken a look briefly?
Yeah, there's a couple guys out there that I would definitely be interested to see how high they go. I will. Yeah, there's some very good guys out here.
So the draft class looks pretty sweet this year. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, at least the first 10, 15 picks. I'd be very interested to see where they end up, who they end up going with. I think that
I
there's some
gotcha.
very good talent to start with.
Hmm. Yeah, right end 4.6. That's solid.
That boy McLean, he
Yeah.
definitely tested out. He matches the eye test. Atkins, though, I would say is a little questionable. Doesn't have the speed that you'd really want.
Yeah, but we know how
For,
this
what he's
Madden
supposed to
does
be.
the 40 times. Like I feel like Dar, didn't you like grab a wide receiver in PS4 that was a worse 40 time than the guy I grabbed and was way faster?
Rondale Moore?
No, I don't think it was Rondale. It was a different dude. Maybe I'm
I don't know.
No,
mixing
I don't
up my
think it was
draft.
Dar. It was it might have been Chunks.
Might have.
Yeah,
I think maybe it was
remember that
Chunk.
happening. It wasn't me though.
Yeah, I was
Well,
heated.
there's some really good receivers out here. There's
Yeah,
that safety, Reggie Glenn. He's a stud, obviously. Number one running
I
back.
don't care
in
what
the
y'all
league.
picking. I'm picking the end with an A- hit power.
Tracy McLean, is that who we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm picking that. The A- hit power is gonna go a long way. Let me tell you.
Oh, I know it,
There's
right?
gonna be
He's saying he's a big hitter, huh?
nonstop.
So he's coming off the edge, speed
Fumbles.
rusher. He's fast, and he's got the big hit power. So he's causing fumbles. That's what Slick's going for right there.
Send him.
Noted. Thank you, Slick.
Oh my goodness. This Khalil Ware, he's got a 4.8 440, and he's an early first rounder. Like Madden needs to get its stuff together because that's some trash. Like how fast is that guy? Like an 82 speed?
Which guy?
He probably will be. Yeah.
Khalil Ware.
He's
He's
the
number
DN at
6
linebacker.
Yeah, he's a defensive end for sure. He's number 6. Like that blows me away.
He's strong. He's strong. He's the strongest right outside linebacker.
Yeah, exactly. Man, some
What's
tall.
a good 40? What's a good 40 time?
Oh yeah, I know. For you and me, it is Dar. Like that's a good 40 time.
Well, so what would make a good 40 time for safety? Like in Madden.
That's what I'm saying.
Something like 4.45.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this Reggie Glenn
4.43
dude
is good.
gonna be stud.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. If you get a
Oz Joseph.
Fast to strong safety.
You see this
Oz
running
Joseph
back
looks
though?
nice.
This Peter McClutchin.
Peter McClutchin.
This dude is a stud. Super stud.
Tyrone Haynes. That fool looks like he's gonna.
Hold on, let me get there. Peter Clutchin. Like he's a halfback. Is that what you said? Oh, there he is. He's the first guy.
Number one.
Oh, number one.
guy.
Oh yeah, that's an Elstein guy.
I was gonna say
right
that's
now.
Elstein right there. Yep.
That's stud of studs right there, running back.
He's a little small though. 5'10". 196 ain't bad, but he's young. Super young.
Small, but he's
Who cares how tall he is?
Like
He's
Peter Gonzalez.
4.37. He's gonna be
Hey.
a 93 speed.
At least 93, 94 speed probably.
You know what?
And
He's gonna be.
still got room to dev.
I'm gonna draft him, and he's gonna be 89 speed. Whoa! Somebody got
We got a surprise guest writing in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Who is it?
Was that Dar's girl or was that John's girl? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
I
sorry.
don't know.
I was just checking out this Gabriel Slayton wide receiver, 6'4", and a 4.46. Like, whew. I bet you he could be pretty fast. He'll be easily 91 speed. Good agility, like decent.
Which wide receiver were you talking
That three
about?
cone at 20. Oh, that scared the hell out of me.
that three cone at what?
The 3 cone 40-second wide receiver.
Yeah.
The 20 show. The
Yeah.
20-yard show. Oof.
Oof. I mean, it is not great, but like anybody sub 7 is usually pretty good.
He's
Maybe
strong.
Maybe that's why I'm terrible at drafting. I don't know. Dev over there is being super quiet. He doesn't want to share any of
Hey,
his
we got,
gems.
No,
Yeah,
he don't want to
breaking
say.
news.
He's trying to move
Breaking
up to
news
get
in
that
the
running
Discord
back.
right now.
So he can
Breaking
make-
news.
Is that
Oh,
Manny?
we got a trade happening. Is that what's going on?
Well, trade up.
Oh, he's trying to trade up to get that running back.
Oh,
I picked 6.
Oh Jesus! What? It's declined. That's trash.
Wow. Already.
Hey, it's
Since
the
I got
shady.
since I got a platform, I have to say something that's been on my mind for about a few weeks now. What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with this league?
I'm telling you, dude.
These
Like,
guys are gifting top users stuff. Like you are, it's like people that trade with the Patriots. Like you know they're good, and you still send them good stuff. Like why? Like why? That just makes no sense. Like use your noggin.
you know what it is like he's probably the only guy who sent him an offer. Like A-Bomb's over there, like, oh, I guess that's the market. Yeah, I'll take that one.
I didn't see A-Bomb say anybody want to trade, want to get the 6 picks in the trade. But like
That's what I'm saying. It's like he's the John of trades. He's like looking for vulnerable people, and he finds them.
John is the John trade
It's
stuff.
not the John at trade. I'm not taking advantage of vulnerable people. I will definitely steal
No,
a dude if it
you
fits
take
my team.
you take
but
advantage
like
of
you
people
said,
in
my
vulnerable
man
cap
will-
situations.
Yeah,
my
bro.
man will trade anything on the team. It doesn't matter who it is, what it is. They could be the face of the franchise. They could be the towel boy. It could be the washing machine. It could be the right end. It doesn't matter. He's gone. If it's the right offer, it's gone.
Can't argue that.
All I want to know is what is second year? What is that?
Oh, second next year. I must have
Oh,
misclicked.
okay. Sorry, declined. You used the wrong format.
Ugh.
You did a double space.
That's right.
What
Too
do you
many.
bet that he wants to go get the
Oh, look at him. He
considering
already
Todd Gurley
edited.
and
Like, that's
James
crazy.
Conner?
I got my phone right here.
Oh my
He wants
goodness,
a coach. He's looking for a three-peat.
man.
He
These.
said
He won the
if
Super
this
Bowl last
running
year. Who
back
won the Super Bowl
doesn't
last year?
say
He
Pitt.
did.
Panthers on it.
So is the same
I had
matchup too,
one
Manny and
won.
this one?
Yeah, he
So you're on
he beat
two
Manny.
Super Bowls right now against Manny.
No.
No.
One.
The first one was with Penn. The second was him. Winning
Oh,
the
okay,
three.
okay.
Yeah,
Rough.
Penn beat Jern in the first season.
Yeah, that was
Three all
Penn.
messed up.
Yep, these shady ass commissions are declining your trade. Sorry, Panthers.
Wow.
Hate to break it to you.
Declined that one, but not DJ Moore for a third-round pick. Okay.
DJ Moore was Basura.
Yeah, because you're not in the club. Like we all know who's in the
No,
club.
That's right. Yeah, because I'm the commission's favorite, right? So. All
No.
my
I'm trying to get there.
approved. That's what
We-
Giants thinks, at least.
Oh, he does. It's because you get on Warzone or something. I'm not even on Warzone. Like I don't even get it.
Is the new update good? Have you guys
It's you
played it? Any
guys.
of you guys played
There's
it?
only probably
Alright.
like 2 or 3 that get on more of them. And there none. There's only one commish that does it.
I will
Michelangelo?
say, I'm liking
Michelangelo.
Giants right now. He's making me not the odds-on favorite to repeat for Hope VP. So
OVP. That's right.
He's challenging.
I gotta say, like that is the most cathartic thing I've ever read in my life. Is Hose of the Week. So great. You know, for that, Slick, I think you deserve like a free dev upgrade. That's all I'm saying.
I'm telling y'all.
All right, boys. Well, I'd just like to say thank you to C-Dev for joining, Dar for making his first appearance, and then everybody else for picking us up tonight, checking it out. So I would just say good luck in the rest of free agency and at the draft, and let's get next season kicked off. And hopefully we can bring some fresh content coming on Thursdays. I think Slick has made a commitment. He said, I'm going to be doing these podcasts on Thursdays with or without you guys. And so hopefully we won't go
Assuming
no.
work doesn't change. Assuming
Right.
work doesn't change, Thursday's the night.
All right. Then
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and give that commitment as well that I want to make it and definitely try to get a podcast each week. I realize we dropped the ball this season, not getting any more out than the pre-fantasy, or not pre-fantasy, but the pre-draft kickoff. So look for us going forward, and just once again, have everybody have a great season, and we're out of here.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you,
Have a good
guys.
night.
Have a good night.